Where do people go now for spring break?
Well, when we look at our most booked destinations, it's a lot of the usual suspects on the top of the list. Cancun, Orlando,
Yeah.
Tampa, Miami, the ski resorts, Tahoe,
Oh.
Breckenridge, Vail. So a lot of ones that you would suspect are ones where people are still going. But we have some ideas for some a little more off the beaten path places. Maybe for folks who are looking to avoid crowds and save a little money if you haven't yet booked a vacation yet.
All right, and then is Telluride on that list? Because I was just in Telluride, and if you're a skier, that is the place to go. There were not a lot of crowds. This would be a good place. Is that a good one?
Telluride's a great one. It's a little tougher more expensive to get to for some people because it's not as, a lot of people, it's really accessible to fly into Denver, drive up to Keystone or Breckenridge. Telluride is not, one of those places where you have a major airport right there to fly into. So that does make it a little pricier, but it is one to go to if you want to avoid some of the bigger crowds of the more popular ski destinations.
All right, so now where do you recommend? Give us your hot tips for some spring break areas that we may not have thought about.
Sure. Well, I'm coming to you from Mesa, Arizona. I'm actually today at Sloan Park, which is a spring training home to the world champion Chicago Cubs.
Spring training. Now you're talking. This is fabulous. Tell me more.
Yes, well, I love spring training as an idea, particularly for families or friends that just want to get away. You could do it for a week or even just a few days if you don't have a whole week to get away for spring break. Easy to get into Phoenix, where the Cactus League is, or even in Florida, where the Grapefruit League is. But what I love about it is you get to see some of your favorite teams at a fraction of the price of regular season tickets. Some of these stadiums you can sit out in the lawn for $10 a ticket. So it's really affordable to do. And it's just a much more intimate experience. They make time before the games when, kids and families can get autographs with their favorite players. Some of these parks let kids run the bases on certain days. And it's just, these smaller stadiums are so laid back. And even the general Phoenix area, there are so many outdoor things to do. So it's not just about baseball. You can make it into a vacation. There's great hiking trails, mountain biking, shopping in places like Scottsdale, golf, of course. So it's certainly something that is growing in popularity, but a great idea for families looking for a little bit of a different experience over spring break.
Well, I was just going to ask you for the kids. I mean, that does sound like a lot of fun, especially, my kids love to watch baseball, but, the crowds and just the expense with everything, it really sounds like a lot of fun just to pay $10, sit on the lawn. And like you said, outdoors activities, the biking, the hiking, that is all right up my alley. And, to get out there into nature and to spend time with your family, what a better way to spend the day.
Absolutely, and you can't get better weather than Phoenix this time of year. Today, it's supposed to be 75 to 80 degrees for a high, so it's perfect baseball and outdoor weather. One of my other ideas for folks maybe looking for something a little different to experience is, along the lines of outdoors, is beating the summer crowds to some of your favorite national parks. Summer is the big season for national parks, and a lot of times people book those national park hotels and destinations months out. So it's hard sometimes to even stay in some of those cool lodges in the national parks in the summer, but during the spring, it's a great time to go. There's a lot of availability, and even places like, I love Zion National Park this time of year. It's a temperate climate, great hiking trails. It's beautiful this time of year, but no crowds. You can get hotels from $130 a night, and that's just an example. Everybody has national parks in their region of the country, so even if you want a quick drive getaway, find one that's close to you, head over there. Enjoy a lot of the trails, and they have these great programs in the national parks called the Junior Ranger Program. So if you have young kids, the rangers teach them all about wildlife and the local ecosystem, and they earn badges, and it's a really cool program for kids. So it's something that I know a lot of people know about national parks, but they don't think about necessarily going to them in the spring.
Eric Hines, we've got to send you and the gang out there to that national park. Would be fabulous.
Oh, yeah. Spring
training, whether it be in the Grapefruit League in Florida or the newest area where they've been going for years now, but it's a great Phoenix, and all the teams are there too, so you can watch them play. Jeanenne Tornatore is with us. She's the senior editor of Orbitz.com, and we're talking about hot spring break areas. What else you got for us, Jeanenne?
Well, another idea is a lot of people head to Florida. We know Orlando is one of our top destinations, but just 45 minutes from Orlando, you have Cape Canaveral, home to Kennedy Space Center, which I remember going there as a kid. I'm not going to tell you how long ago that was, but they did not have a lot of the cool things that they have now. Now they have this astronaut encounter where you can sit down and talk with NASA astronauts. They have all these cool immersive experiences for family, things like flight training simulators where you actually get the feel for what it's like to be an astronaut. So, even if you're going somewhere like Orlando, or maybe you want to go to Orlando, but you want to stay somewhere cheaper, hotels near Cape Canaveral are just $109 a night. So staying a little bit outside those major areas, you can still get some of these great experiences without the high price.
Even if you don't go on the tour, you could just go to one of those hotels for $109 and say, I'm headed to the Cape.
Yeah, exactly. Get out there, get to Cape Canaveral, and you impress your friends. That's for sure. Now, what about fine dining opportunities in these areas? Of course, as travelers, and we all like to find that great restaurant. Is there great food and dining in the area as well?
Yeah, all of these areas, you can find great dining. I feel like if you know what to look for, you can find good dining most places nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't know much about dining and some more of the travel things, but I think that, that's something I like to eat local when I go places.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
for me,
travel weeks,
it's all about, here in Phoenix, you've got great local Mexican food. When you're going somewhere on the coast, it's all about finding the good local seafood restaurants. And sometimes that's the best way to go. And it can be a lot cheaper finding the great local places.
What are the busiest travel weeks? We can either go there if we want to get into good crowds or can avoid. What are the busiest weeks?
Sure. Well, right now it looks like the busiest weeks are going to be the last 2 weeks in March because that's what overlaps some of the college students in March, and we start seeing a lot of the elementary and high schools with the kids and families heading out those last 2 weeks in March.
Where do we go to get more information?
Like it's going to be
Give us the website, Jeanine.
Orbitz.com.
ORBITZ.com.
My number 2 does not look like a number 2. I don't know what to call it. Is there a number 3?
Table for 4, please. Anything close to the restroom.
A middle seat with these stomach problems? That's my fear of flying.
Sound like you? If it does, you could be one of the many people with a digestive condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Even if you don't know what EPI is, you might know the symptoms. Frequent diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain. If you have even just one of these symptoms, you could still have EPI, because not everybody experiences EPI the same way, which is why it's so important to open up to your doctor about all your symptoms. And the good news is, EPI is manageable, so don't keep a lid on it. Go to identifyepi.com, complete the symptom checker, and use it to have a conversation with your doctor. Don't keep a lid on it. Visit identifyepi.com. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Daddy, where do babies come from?
Honey?
Mommy went to the store.
Oh, well, you see, there's a mommy and a daddy, right?
Right.
And see, when they call Geico, they could save a bunch of money on car insurance.
Oh, really? And that makes them happy?
Yes, that makes them very happy.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we could have this talk, Sunshine.
Geico, because saving 15% or more on car insurance is always a great answer.
Want the look of hardwood, but not the worry of water? Get the best selection of Woodlook waterproof floors, up to 34% off at Lumber Liquidators Spring Flooring Sale. Choose from more than 60 varieties of Woodlook tile, vinyl plank, and new click ceramic plank. And get new Dream Home X2O highly water-resistant laminate at introductory prices. More from 69 cents and special financing. Bring on the spring showers. We've got you covered with incredible deals on waterproof floors and more at the Spring Flooring Sale at Lumber Liquidators.
Here to What's Cooking Today, the nation's food, wine, restaurant, travel, and entertainment show. Michael Horn with Eric Hines.
Yeah, Michael Horn. Of course, we just got off the line with Jeanenne Tornatore from Orbitz. Check out Orbitz.com to get all those great travel deals. She was saying the last 2 weeks of March kind of overlap with, I guess, a lot of spring break stuff. So
high school, college, all together in there. So you can, if you love crowds, go with it. If you don't. Have you ever been to spring training in Arizona or in Florida?
I have